Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and you join us for potentially the second or the third of Sport Tank's trio of games this weekend. This time we are back in Victoria Park in Taunton for the Somerset Wyverns versus the South Wales Warriors. Sort of a tale of two teams today. In the South Wales Warriors getting a huge win over Bournemouth, which, surprised some of the pundits on the rundown, most of the pundits on the rundown, especially after Bournemouth was looking pretty good. An 8-0 victory over the Bobcats for South Wales. They're undefeated, but it's only 1-0. Where the Somerset Wyverns 0-2, 0 points scored, 26-0 loss to the Bournemouth Bobcats in week 1. Then the Bristol Apache came here to Victoria Park and beat the Somerset Wyverns 48-0. Now the historical record between these two clubs is basically been all South Wales. Basically, South Wales have won 4 out of the 5 fixtures. The last time the Wyverns took a win away from the South Wales Warriors was last season on the 21st of April 2024. I feel like it's pretty easy to determine what Somerset needs to do here. Get that offence cooking, because we've seen it over the last 2 games anyway, or at least last game. The offence wasn't really cooking. The defence, on the other hand, was doing some bits. But the offence needs to get a little bit crisper. We've heard some rumblings here that the Somerset Wyverns may be implementing a new old QB at the position. But the South Wales Warriors, they are a hard-nosed, roughneck team. They always have been. I think they always will be. And they're looking to surprise some people in what is a pretty competitive SFC 1 West, with the Solent Thrashers putting a big score on the Apache last week. It's going to be an interesting one. But as it stands right now, the South Wales Warriors and the Solent Thrashers are the teams to beat. My name, as basically always, is Christopher Tebber, and I will be on commentary today. You can call me Tebbs if you'd like, but only call me Chris if you know me personally, Adam Eckhart. This is the second or third of Sport Tank's 3 games today. This weekend, as we did Bristol versus Amsterdam yesterday. Sorry, I'm all caught up here. I was too busy talking over the old coin toss. So we're just going to have a look. So, looks like Somerset will be receiving the ball at the very least. Tell you what, when I looked at the weather report for today, I was expecting rain. Instead, I'm met with definitely getting another sunburn. It's going to be interesting to see what these two teams can give here, as obviously Somerset need something big here. I think their defence is good, but obviously, phases, sections of teams, their offence hasn't been cooking. But can they get something good on special teams here? But let's lock in here for South Wales to kick it away. Looks like number 19 will be the kicker for the only Welsh team in Britball, Senior Ball, which I've always found strange. I thought Wales is quite a big place. So we'll be able to get names for you in a second. I just want to make sure I get all of this. Big kick, sailing towards number 14 of the Wyverns. It's a good catch. They fake the reverse. 14 has got it. He's going around the outside. He's met by number 2 of the South Wales Warriors, and he's going to get it back at potentially his own 13-yard line to start off here in this week 4 matchup in the SFC 1 West. And now it's roster o'clock. Tick-tock. So I'm going to start with giving you our referees for today's game. Dave Moore is our head ref. Albert Lampert is the umpire. Nathan Coates, the head line judge. Graham Coleman, the line judge. Francis Bryan, Bevan, is the back judge. And James Statham is the centre judge. Wonder if there's any relation. So number 17 in at QB for the Wyverns. He's got trips on one side, and he's going to throw a screen out to 38. There is some space there. He's going to have a decent enough gain there. I'm going to say a gain of 3 on that play for number 38 of the Wyverns. So let me put one roster down and now deal with another. It is just me here today in Victoria Park. Let's have a look. So, Adam Adams, strong name on the reception there for the Wyverns. I thought he's maybe going to have 3 or 4 on that play. He has only got a gain of 2. So 2nd and 8 now for Somerset. It's a beautiful day here in Victoria Park. Going to be warm. These teams are going to have to hydrate. More so than normal. Obviously, you've got to hydrate here. Bringing them forward. Hand off to 0, the Wyverns. Met right in the middle there, and the South Wales Warriors pounce all over that. Going to be a gain, I believe, of 1. We're going to be a gain of just 1 here. So 3rd and 7 now for the Wyverns. And Josh Eastley adding an extra yard there. But now 7's the goal. Screen pass worked, but are we going to see something a bit longer here from the Wyverns? Trying to get South Wales jump offside. High snap. And I think the South Wales are going to have that. 17 just couldn't keep his hands on that as it sailed. And oh my Lord, South Wales, they've got to be absolutely loving this. They're going to be taking over on the 4 of the Wyverns. And there is Louis Trotman, number 6, swearing just loud enough for the camera to pick it up. So thank you, LT, for that one. But I mean, apart from maybe a bobbled catch on the kickoff, you can't get any better a start than this for the South Wales Warriors. So we're going to go over to the South Wales roster now. I imagine they're just going to pound this, if I'm completely honest. Hand off. Going right. And a good stop there from the Wyverns. I think it is going to be a tackle for loss. So number 26 of the Wyverns there. Pushing the Warriors back to the 7. A loss of 3 on the play. It's like what I'm saying. It's like what I'm telling you. It's like what I'm telling you. The defense is pretty decent here. Lewis Melander forcing the Warriors back a bunch. Okay, so the Warriors sending a man in motion. And the bubbled snap is being kicked around. 26 is trying to dive on it. So, I mean, the South Wales Warriors, they do recover it, but they're going to have a 1st and goal from what looks to me to be the 20-yard line. I mean, it's a good response here from the Wyverns. It was looking pretty damaging, but it's one of those things where, because the South Wales Warriors did win by 8 last week, it'd be hard-pressed to say if they do have a kicker who could potentially put some points on the board here, as I imagine they went for 2 on their touchdown last week, and that's how they got it, unless it was full safeties, which I'd be surprised about, but... So here we go, 18 for the Warriors, drops back. He's going to heave it, looking for 2, and it's picked off. Well, almost picked off, but so it's still going to give the Warriors one more chance to put some points on the board. But the Wyverns just need to lock in slightly more, I think, because that was in and out of the hands of a couple of them. So the South Wales Warriors still on the 20-yard line of the Wyverns for a 4th and goal from the 20. And they are going to be kicking this. Again, you don't see this much in Uniball. Mick Duncan, the vice captain today, is going to be looking to use his boot to kick it through. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. And it's no good. So, I mean, a lifeline here for the Somerset Wyverns after that high snap. We've seen snaps sort of be the detriment already today, but I will tell you now, I'm going to give you a quick grass report as a former centre, and that's what's important. Let's have a feel. So it's nice. It shouldn't be causing too many problems. Shouldn't be causing too many problems, centres. Don't make me call you out, but I mean, huge for the Wyverns. They're going to be taken over on their own 20. Arguably, from their first offensive drive, they've gained 7 yards. What an awful way to gain 7 yards, I will say, for the Somerset Wyverns, but they gained it nonetheless. Better snap this time. 17 just deals that out to Eastleigh, but Eastleigh can't get a hand on it. He got some fingers on it. He certainly didn't get a hand on it. So, 2nd and 10 here for the Wyverns. You know, even I got some DMs last week about South Wales being annoyed about how Sport Tank, the pundits didn't pick them, but I don't pick them, ladies and gentlemen. Not for Britboy anyway. So Eastleigh's got it again. He's got it in the middle. He's got a blocker there. Tell you what, decent amount of yardage there for the Wyverns. That is going to be a gain of 7 for the hometown side. Can they convert? That is the question. Now on this nice Sunday, beautiful weather, we also got another game going on right now. Oxford Saints versus the Ipswich Cardinals. So keep your eye on that. Don't leave this one, but stay on this one. This one, I'm going to say actually 6 there. Need 4. Goes to Eastleigh on the right-hand side. He's going to have that first down. He's going to keep on trucking. And I tell you what, it's a good start here from the Somerset Wyverns. I mean, they've sort of found it here a little bit more, but they're going to have a fresh set of downs here as they're going to be setting up shop on, I'm going to say, the 36-yard line, their own, of course. But the one thing the Wyverns need is to click here. Still no points on the season currently for the Somerset Wyverns. They would love to change that today, and they'd love to walk away with a W as well. Right hash for the Wyverns. Got it again. Oh, and bounces off the foot of Eastleigh there. Sure, not a massive hit there, but I think number 5 may have a brief word with one of our referees. 2nd and 10 here for the Wyverns. Tom Golden still in at QB. Again, looking a bit more confident today, I would say, myself anyway. But number 0 has been the primary guy here for the Wyverns today. He's going to go straight to him on the counter play. And again, Eastleigh's getting decent yardage here. Another decent run here by number 0 of the Wyverns. They're going to have another 3rd and 4. I would argue that the Wyverns, they feel a lot more comfortable on the ground. I think that's been proven here, but South Wales just not having an answer for number 0 of the Wyverns. Golden's got it. Golden drops back, looking left-hand side, and that is picked off by the Warriors. I'll try and get a number for you. I think that might be number 8, I'm going to say, of South Wales. But again, sort of from this angle, as we were sort of looking down where Golden was looking, it didn't seem like there was any Wyverns in the area, if I'm honest. Just going to hold my hands up. But the second turnover in the first quarter for the Wyverns as the South Wales offence takes the field. They're going to be looking to get something going here after an offensive drive last time that resulted in nil points, ladies and gentlemen, nil points. Rocket. And the ball is out, and it's recovered. No, oh my Lord, and it is recovered by the Wyverns this time. So, four turnovers, make that 4 turnovers in the first quarter. And once again, the Somerset Wyverns, they gain yards in a manner in which is a bit unusual. But yeah, and Somerset Wyverns once again gain yards and a fresh set of downs here on the second turnover of the day. Or the second fumble, sorry. No, sorry, the first turnover via fumble. There was a turnover on downs. I'm talking nonsense. So, high snap here. Golden is back in. Fires that out to 45, but 45 just cannot keep his hands on it. I mean, it's an exciting game already. But which offense can crack the scoreboard first? I think that's what it feels like. Both defenses have come here to play. A fumble and an interception by the South Wales defense. Well, it's still a fumble, even if it's an issue with the snap. So, but an interception, forced fumble. No forced fumbles, just regular fumbles. Man in motion here, but it's going to Easterly on the counter. Again, Easterly's got space, but a lot of horizontal run in there. I'm not entirely sure how many yards that play is actually going to amount for the Wyverns, but it looked good. I will say, number 0, again, who has been the main guy, Josh Easterly, getting up quite slowly for the Wyverns, and even going so far as taking himself off the pitch. So it looks as though number 44 for Somerset will be replacing number 0. Mike Peach. We know that Wyverns have had a fair few injuries. One of those key positions where injuries have spawned is the running back position for the Somerset Wyverns, but Peach in at running back. Golden's going to fire out to his right-hand side. 38 has got it, but instantly swarmed by South Wales. And that's going to be a loss of yards. And now a punt for the Wyverns. Again, it's quite exciting here. Pretty evenly matched. But what does that say here? Because you come into this game, you're looking like South Wales are probably going to be the stronger squad. But it's looking pretty even so far. But it's easy to say what both of these squads need to do in order to capitalise on this game. They need to limit those offensive. Well, they are offensive and offensive. Words are strange. Offensive mistakes. That's what they need to limit. And Mike Peach kicks that one. I mean, he's got some decent legs. And Mike Peach recovers his own punt. But not giving that to the normal punter, number 82. Were their eyes to do some deception there, or at least setting up some deception, I can say that for free. But Clark Riley on the field for the first time. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of him today. Again, you see someone wearing a silver and black helmet with a navy and white line on it, you sort of stand up and take notice. So let's just zoom in a bit here. So the worst field position for the day for South Wales. It's going to be a run to the right-hand side. Wyverns gobble it up in the middle. Looking at Nathan Coates there, our line judge, just to see if there's any sort of movement as we find ourselves on the angle. Though doesn't look like there's going to be any gain there for the currently 1-0 South Wales Warriors. Yeah, the South Wales Warriors this week on social media, they've been posting a lot of their their players this week in their uni ball connections. We've got a lot of Swansea Titans and a fair few Cardiff Cobras as well. Again, sort of Swansea, not the best season in the world. Cardiff staying in D1, so they're going to look to throw it this time. So QB's going to roll out. Oh, unable to bring him down. QB still on his feet. Number 8 to beat. But, I mean, there's going to be some words had with some of the Somerset Wyverns defenders there based on their tackles, I'm sure. I mean, there was an opportunity for a big tackle for loss there deep inside the South Wales Warriors' own red zone, but just unable to get it done. Max Milburn there on the run. And now South Wales are bearing down on a 3rd and 6. Milburn looks to take it himself again. And number 8 finds him again. But are they going to have enough? I mean, so it's going to be a first down. It's not going to be a first down by a whole lot for South Wales, but you can get it any way you can. South Wales now looking like they're on their own 34. You know, I think South Wales, they're the masters of playing their game. And I feel like the second that they get a team into playing South Wales Warriors football, the game's basically over. It doesn't feel like the Warriors have managed to get their talons into the Wyverns just yet, but you know, with every dynamic play, it's going to go. So a touch pass there. I can't quite see the number, but Louis Trotman there, bringing him down to the ground. I believe that's number 22 for South Wales. On that run play there, he's going to have a gain of 4. So a 2nd and 6 now for South Wales. So low snap, bobbled on the floor. Milburn picks it up, and he's just going to fire it over the head of number 22. Now, it's the 2nd low snap we've seen today. Well, actually, sorry. Let me rephrase that. That's the 3rd. Let me rephrase that. No, let me delete it, and then put more knowledge in your head. The 3rd bad snap today we've seen for South Wales. Don't make me call out a centre's name. You never, like centres, you know, they move. What was Little Wayne? Real G's move in silence like lasagna. Same with centres. They love to move in lasagna. I was a centre. I love to move in lasagna. So 22 is Daniel Dacey. So Milburn looks like he's going to be telling his line something here. Could be a free play, and it certainly is. And it's picked off there by number 99, but this isn't going to stand. It's not going to stand. The flag from Nathan Coates. We saw some movement on the line. And the Wyverns can celebrate all they like, but I don't think this is going to be going their way. Yeah, so it is going to be offside. So, again, a great pick there by 99 of the Wyverns, but nothing. All it means is some extra yardage here for South Wales. Ben Nation is going to be livid. So enough for a fresh set of downs here for South Wales. Louis Trotman in the single high. Why did my voice go like that? What? 34 in motion for South Wales. But it's going to be going up the middle. But I mean, number 8 there of the Wyverns read that one. I'm not going to say it's a hungry caterpillar, But Kieran Hopley is going to, let's see, is that a loss of yard? No, so no loss of yards on that play, but it's going to be bang on there. Oh, I think it could be a slight loss of yards, but I mean, I would, no, keeps moving it around. Let's just stick with 2nd and 10. Okay, Milburn drops back, looking to his right-hand side. That's a big ball for 2. And I tell you what a great catch that was. We're gonna have to replay that one, I reckon. We're just gonna have to see it again. You're just gonna have to see that one again. Let's get the old rostery up. He's gonna be happy with the viewpoint on that, but the Wyverns, they're not gonna be happy about it. Reece Selby there with an absolutely spectacular catch. Let's widen this out. But South Wales, you know, matriculating the ball down the field, which is what I love to see. That's what I mean when I mean South Wales football. You know, do they have the potential to throw an absolute heater? They do, 100% they do. But do they? That is the question. Okay, so hand off to Dacey, number 22. And he's going around the outside there in a decent amount of yardage. And I believe that is Louis Trotman coming from that single high safety position all the way to the other side of the field to make that tackle, but not after a gain of 4 for Dacey. So 22 in the backfield for the Warriors. Milburn's got it. Milburn is going to take it himself. You can tell by that stance change. I tell you what I do like about that is he did get tackled, but made sure to stretch that ball out to gain a little bit of extra yardage, but I think he may have not gained anything. No, it's going to be a gain of 1 on that QB run. So 3rd and 5 here for the South Wales Warriors. I'd argue it's within kicking range for South Wales as well if they are unable to convert here, but that's a conversation for potentially in maybe 20 seconds time. So 2 in the backfield now for South Wales. Milburn's going to drop back, pockets collapsing, and just fires that up for number 2. And just amazing. Just a spectacular catch there for number 2 of the South Wales Warriors. And it seemed as though Milburn was just scrambling there. But Selby brings it in for South Wales. So Milburn in his holder there. I was thinking there could be a potential to go for 2, but not to be. Well, I mean, when you have the starting QB as the holder, that's always a little bit tricky. So Mick Duncan on the try. And it's bobbled. And it's picked up there by 26. He's on the ground. So, kick no good. So the score's going to stand at 6-0 for South Wales. I tell you what, one thing you do have to do, you have to love the composure here of Max Milburn. That pocket's collapsing. So, I mean, nicely sort of summarised. It's the end of Q1 and the scoreline is 6-0. Remember the last time they played? Not each other, but the last time that South Wales graced the field, it was against Bournemouth. They won 8-0, so... But yeah, the composure of Milburn there. That pocket was collapsing around and we just fires one up there. That is having trust in your receivers, and Selby able to bring it in for South Wales. 6-0 is the score. Hello, Harry Owen. Why aren't you here, you scumbag? Harry Owen. Worst. Worst, worst, worst. So Duncan to kick it away here for South Wales. What a great strike there from Duncan. Goes into the hands of number 1 for the Wyverns. They're going to go for the reverse. Fake the reverse. Did not fall number 26 there of the South Wales Warriors. So I definitely say it's a better offensive performance today for Somerset than it has been in the other game that we did with them just a couple of weeks ago. But I mean, let's be honest, the big thing here for Somerset is points on the board. Points on the board. They haven't managed to get it yet this season in 2 games played. So, okay, Golden's still in. Fires it up. 24 there. Making sure 14 can't catch that ball. 2nd and 10 for Somerset. Nice gentle breeze rolling in here in Victoria Park. Thank the Lord. So 2nd and 10 here for Somerset. Can they get anything going? It's going to be a run to the right-hand side. Easterly back in there. Just bypasses 14, and just what a great run there by the man for Somerset. Is that enough? Is that enough? Yes, that's going to be enough for a fresh set of downs here. Well, especially when you consider that in their first game against the Bournemouth Bobcats, Somerset were unable to get a single first down, and Easterly just managing to do it with some relative ease on that play there. Shows at least some level of evolution for the team in the maroon and gold. Trying to bring him off here. Goes to another back, but South Wales managed to wrap that up. I don't think there's going to be a gain at all there for Somerset. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, on Mondays we have the rundown at 7:30 where we discuss all of the Brit Ball news and beyond. I'm sure there'll be some talk about the CEFL game that we covered yesterday between the Bristol Aztecs and the Amsterdam Crusaders. At 7:30, join Micah and guests to talk about it all. Talk about this game. Out to number 82 Riley, but he is pursued there by some South Wales Warriors. And next week, I can tell you what I'm bringing you to the table. We're going to the Premiership North, to the home of British American football, the home of the Brit Bowl. We're going to Butts Park as 2 former Brit Bowl champions, the Coventry Phoenix, take on the Manchester Titans. Coventry successful yesterday in their game against the Newcastle Vikings. It's going to be interesting to see what the former two-time national champions in the Manchester Titans can bring to the table. So Golden drops back, fires it into the middle, looking for Riley, but unable to get it done there. So It's now going to bring up a 4th and 11. Going to bring up a 4th and 11 now for the Wyverns. Sun not as bright now, thank the Lord. So last time we saw it snap to 44. Let's punt it away, but Riley back in. Goes to Riley. Riley bobbles it on the floor, and that is going to be picked up by South Wales. And another coup for the team from South Wales. Looks like they're going to be taken over deep inside the Wyverns territory. Exact opposite of what the Wyverns needed at this point. Let's see where they're going to be setting up here. Looks to me to be on about the 18-yard line or of the Wyverns for South Wales. I tell you what, the South Wales Warriors haven't brought a lot of fans with them, but they've brought the loudest, because we've got a fair few fans here in for Somerset, and they're just watching with anticipation, it feels like. So, bringing a man in motion, but it's going to go to 27. Breaking through there, and a good tackle there by number 8 of the Wyverns. Hopley again. What a big saver there for Somerset, but it's not going to stop number 27 of South Wales from picking up at, I'm going to say at this angle 7, but it could be 6. I'm going to check it because I've got that as Samuel Manship is a DB. But it could have been 22, but I'm fairly certain it was 27. But don't quote me on that. And so run from 22. He's got one man to beat, and he's going to be unable to do it there. But it's going to bring up a 1st and goal situation here for South Wales. Another mistake here from the Wyverns has put them into great field position. They're obviously having to get down to a 1st and goal. Man in motion here for South Wales. Milburn looking over the middle. And another spectacular catch there from South Wales. You just got to be impressed with them. It's going to be another 6 on the board for South Wales. 12-0 is the score. So can they get the extra point? Kick is up. Kick is good. So 13-0 the score. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to have to go and deal with some stuff quickly. So I do apologise about that, ladies and gentlemen. But kick-off there for South Wales as Somerset look to take over on their own 30-yard line. Can the Wyverns offence string some together here? You know, game's not quite out of the hands yet, but 13-0. Golden in Easterly has the ball once again, but South Wales wrap him up here. I think South Wales have figured out that Easterly is the man that you need to wrap down to the floor if you want to prevent the Wyverns from creating a surge of momentum. So great pursuit there from South Wales is going to result in a loss of yards for the Wyverns as they're now facing a 2nd and 12. We have definitely seen some more inspired offensive play here from Somerset today. Golden drops back, fires to the right hand side, looking for Easterly, and is picked off by number 5 of South Wales. Is that a pick 6? I think it is. And it is, and it's a pick 6, and now it's starting to get out of hand. Now it's starting to get out of hand for South Wales. Number 5 there for the Warriors, taking that one to the house. Alex Ampleford is making this game seem a little bit unattainable here for the Wyverns. 19-0 is the score. And it seems to me that the South Wales Warriors have definitely figured out the number 0 for the Wyverns is their big offensive weapon. As the vice-captain Duncan looks to put another one through, and it seems almost like deja vu that we were just here. But we're back here. We're back here to make it 20-0. Hold is good. And it's all good. 20-0 the score here in Taunton. And it's once again escaping the Wyverns a bit. It feels like Somerset, they start cooking in Q1, but they just, can't take the momentum with them into Q2 and beyond. So it looks like, if I'm right, 7 minutes 45 left in the first half. 20-0 is the score for South Wales. We hear number 5 talking a little bit of smack there to the Somerset Wyverns, saying, let's bury them. And I think maybe 4 scores. Almost bobbled there by number 1. They're going for the reverse again. This time they hand it off. But once again, a big tackle. All right, I'm going to say something controversial here, ladies and gentlemen. I think I've only ever seen that reverse play on the kickoff work maybe twice. Stop doing it. Just stop it. It's not just to the Wyverns, but to all the other teams. Unless you're in Bristol, just stop it. Just stop it. Please. Well, don't get me wrong. When you can rip one off, it's fantastic, right? But I think I've seen two work, and I see it. I feel like every single week. Every single week, I feel like I see that reverse. Golden's still in at QB here for the Wyverns after throwing that pick six. Run up the middle again, but swallowed up there. Are we going to see a gain at all? No, we're going to see a loss of. We're going to see a loss of 3 on that play here for the Wyverns. It's starting to get a bit out of hand. It's starting to get a bit out of hand. You know, not quite in their safety danger zone, but it's getting close, I can tell you that. Once again, handed off to the right-hand side here, but South Wales just like polyfiller, filling all the holes, and Somerset are going backwards. Somerset are going backwards. You know, this division, I think this division is a pretty decent division here, but, you know, as it stands right now, 20-0 the score right now. I think when South Wales and Solent collide, that's going to be an all-timer fixture, So, I don't know when it is, but, you know, there's a man with a video camera who'd like to bring it to the people. So 3rd and 16 here for the Wyverns, and it's almost picked off. Almost picked off for them there. And now the punting unit. Now last time the Wyverns brought their punting unit onto the field. Disaster. Disaster. Can they get it going now? Riley, number 82, is their punter. And he is probably the furthest away that a player could be from the camera. Sending the man in motion. And it's away. Oh, it's decent enough. Oh, and that's going to take an absolutely sexy Somerset Wyverns bounce. Seems like a little bit of extracurriculars there. 32 for the Wyverns. I believe that's E.T. Elliott Trotman on the down of that ball. Gladman is loving it. Against South Wales, their last 2 offensive drives have started, well, their last 2 scores anyway, one being a pick 6 and the last one starting deep within Wyverns territory. They're going to have to bring some more of that good old South Wales football here, which is a joy to watch. Seems like they can just do anything here. But a couple of rogue snaps for them, I will say. So 22 in the backfield for South Wales. Hand off to 3. But, he's still on his feet. Still on his feet. I mean, I tell you what, that was looking close that number 3 was eventually going to get out of that sticky situation. So an actual loss of 1 on that play. Sorry about that. I zoned out for a second. I zoned out. So now 2 in the backfield for South Wales. And it's going to go number 6. That's a big man. And he's going to rumble and bumble along. And he's rumbling. And Josh Hughes there, one of the captains for South Wales, on that big run play there. I mean, you have a man who's built like that, that's a hard man to bring down. Because that man, I mean, let's be honest, he looks like he could bring down some buildings if you attach him to a rope and swung him from a crane. Milburn is taking off. Ball is out. Ball is out. And I think that's going to be recovered by Somerset. Yeah, that is going to be recovered by Somerset. So another turnover here from South Wales. Another fumble on the day. But the Wyverns are running the risk of being a lowercase team, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what that means? I said it yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, it means that they cannot capitalise. So it looks like it's 3:30 left in the first half here in Victoria Park. Can they get something going? Can the Wyverns finally put some points on the board in the 2025 campaign? That's the question. Handoff. Going around the right-hand side. But a big hit there. But a gain on the play. Oh, very good gain there. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 there. Splitting the sticks have the Wyverns. Have they got the fire in their bellies here? Just put some points on the board. I'm sure the sideline will absolutely erupt if Somerset are able to put points on the board here. But as it's been for the last 8 quarters, well, 9 quarters of football, it's been scoreless for the Wyverns. Hand off, but just met. And it seems to me, from where Nathan Coates is standing, so seems to be that all of that beautiful run play on that first down, all those yardage, they are simply just a mystery. Oh, sorry, 1. Loss of 4 on the play. Timeout called here by the Warriors. That is South Wales' first timeout of the day. It looks as though they may just be trying to give their players on the field a little hydration. I wish I had some hydration. I'm probably going to go and pilfer some water from the Somerset Wyverns at half time. Not that you needed to know that, ladies and gentlemen, but I just thought I'd tell you anyway. It is what it is. So 3rd and 9 for the Wyverns. I mean, you're going to be going through the air here, you've got to expect. So it just seemed as though number 26 didn't get his head around, as it looked like that was going to be the target there for Golden. And the punting unit is going to come back onto the field. Number 1 back to return here for South Wales. Josh Lewis. Josh Lewis back to return here for Riley's got it. And Riley gets it away. Good ball, going to get it out of bounds here. I do find it funny that coaches always say watch for the fake. Always say watch for the fake. I mean, if it's 4th and like 3, I'd argue that you're going to probably see, you could see a fake, but nah. Not that I'm saying anything about the South Wales coach. It's just something interesting. I swear I hear watch for the fake every single week. And maybe because they're watching for the fake doesn't come. You know, I could be the idiot. And I probably am. So Milburn in now. Gets it out nice and wide. And a great block there. Means that 84's on the way down the field. But a flag on the play from the judge on our sideline. And also that he went out of bounds as well. So a block in the back. A block in the back for South Wales. You know, we've had a pretty flagless game here today, which is pretty decent. So a spot foul. South Wales now going to be looking at a 1st and 20. I imagine we're going to be getting closer to the 2-minute warning now. So number 30 now in at back. That is Grace John. And it goes to John. And brought down there by number 26. So I think John's going to have a gain of 3 there. So 2nd and 17. And just like that is the 2-minute warning. So Somerset have got all 3 of their timeouts. But I mean, again, it's sort of like what I said right at the start of this stream. It just doesn't seem that the offense can click for the Wyverns. I say that, but the South Wales defense has been pretty good. Their offense has been decent as well. Milburn drops back, pockets collapsing, ball up in the air. And 2 Wyverns players just collide. Yeah, two Wyverns players collide. They're unable to get it. Unable to get an interception. And we do have a South Wales player down. So we're just going to point over there, and I think it could potentially be the QB for South Wales as well. And I mean, South Wales have basically played. It's strange to say. I wouldn't say they've played a complete game here today. I wouldn't say they've played a complete game. I'm going to come into shot now. I wouldn't say they've played a complete game today. We've seen some fumbles from the South Wales Warriors, but again, it just seems as though Somerset are beating Somerset right now. They're unable to get it done. So as we've got some time.
You alright?
How's your game been?
It's more positive than previous weeks. It's looking like it's getting better, and players are starting to click a bit more. So
I would say that slightly. Yeah, it's
a bit of a generalisation, but hopefully, little steps, baby steps.
So, who have you brought into the camera shot for me?
I have brought you my second favourite fullback of all time. This is Charlie. Just Charlie. Yeah, Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
I'm good, you?
Yeah, I'm doing right. How do you think this game's going for both squads?
I mean, obviously, offense is still early doors. Like, it's taken a long time to move the ball. It's the same problem it's been all season, really. Just like moving it slowly. Like, this is probably the most time we move the ball all season. I think the run game is a lot better than it was. Passing game is still a little bit ropey. mean,
We're getting there. We're moving the ball more. We just need to be looking a bit more vertically than sort of horizontally.
I would say that's completely fair. Again, the defence has been doing better, though. I mean, with the fumbles that South Wales have, again, I've said it a few times today, seems as though Somerset and just can't capitalise. Do you think we're going to be seeing anything different in the second half? Would you hope that something would happen in the second half that's different?
I'm going to jinx myself now, but we have got some changes coming.
Okay.
Can't say too much. I can't. Switch can change quarterback in a bit. Either way, I'm really happy though with Tom this morning. We've had a rocky season with him so far, but today we have come out and we've moved the ball much more than we have in any other game, which is big positive. And luckily we've got a couple of quarterbacks coming back now, luckily from injuries and sabbaticals and stuff like that. So hopefully second half we'll start moving the ball more. We have been looking at their defence and seeing sort of what they're doing to what different formations and patterns we're running. We might have been able to find out a couple of little juicy bits that we want to target next half.
So that punt from 44, was that designed or is he just very, very observant?
I'm going to leave that on a cliffhanger.
I mean, it was a good punt.
I'm joking. It was not planned. That was a horrible snap.
No way was that not planned. Really?
How was the snap? Not planned.
I tell you what. Whoever.
Saw the second punt.
I say, who's 44?
Who is 44? Who is 44?
Because he's the one that kicked it away, and I mean,
he's our little what man? He's my little personal protector.
I was going to say because I mean that's some heads up football. If that just went to an.
It was very much a case of the snap didn't quite go centrally. It sort of, I'm going to say the wind because I've got belief in my snapper. The wind caught it slightly. The up man then luckily caught it. I mean, I'm not complaining, and decided to run originally because you see he sort of took off a little bit, and then he finally came to his senses and kicked the ball away.
Again, I couldn't quite believe that. I genuinely couldn't quite believe that. I thought that was. I was like, that's quite a strange design of a punt.
Nothing about that was planned. Absolutely nothing. It was complete accident, and I'm very happy it was because otherwise I'm running a long way back to try and catch the ball.
Then what I will say is, I mean, you see the ground. It's a bit tacked today, but we've seen some interesting. And by interesting, you do mean bad snaps from both teams here today. I mean, what can you attribute that to? I mean, both teams?
I mean, we can blame the pitch, but I mean, both teams have to play on it, so 50-50. I mean, in terms of just punting, he was a new snapper. Sorry, just had a few weeks. Our normal punter was out for a bit. We changed him over though, and he's had some more reps on the sideline to sort of just get back into the groove because normally he's fine, but so we swapped him over and it's looking good now. So he'll probably come back on second half and be all right. There's been a couple of times where the centres have gone a bit wayward.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it down to personally that the defensive line is just very, very scary and that they want to get their hands up as quick as they can.
But it's both teams. Both teams have some issues ones. Right. To be fair, I think we're going to, because the play's still being tended to, I think we're going to cut to a break and I'm going to get some water because I'm not sure if you can tell my mouth is very dry. So we're just going to cut in a break.
Have a good afternoon.
So, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, with the injury, the referees have decided to call half time a little bit earlier. So, we're going to go into half time now, and then the third quarter will have the 151 that was remaining in the second quarter tacked on into the third quarter. The South Wales player who is injured is still down, but is getting medical treatment, and we'll try to update you where we can. But for right now, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cut to our halftime break. So go and get yourself a cold drink, a hot drink, a warm drink, a tepid drink if you want. But as it stands right now, scoreline at halftime here in Victoria Park, 20-0 to the South Wales Warriors. We'll catch you in about 20 minutes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here in Victoria Park, and we're going to try and get you some updates going in. So, as we said before the break, the third quarter will be slightly longer because of the injured player for South Wales, and I can confirm that the injured player for South Wales is their QB, Max Milburn. So it's going to be a significant loss for South Wales. He has been taken off. He is now in the shade, and we are awaiting medical transportation for Milburn. But he seems to be, as he was coming off, he has got the medics looking after him. So that's what he's going to be. So we just thought I'd warm you up because this half time has been slightly longer. I didn't want to let people think that potentially the game wasn't going back ahead. So a small update there. So we are still in Q2. So the halftime break has occurred now. So we're going to have 1 minute 51 in Q2, then immediately go into Q3 and then Q4. But we're just going to be warming up now. So get your calisthenics in. Look at these high kicks here from South Wales. Can I get my leg that high? Do we want to see it? That is the question. That is the question. No is the answer. But so I'm gonna try and get you some scores from around the league because obviously it's a beautiful Sunday, which means football's on. It's always a good day when football's on. Who is sending me things? No, just making sure no one's worrying me with any worrying messages. But again, people who are interested, I did get some water from Somerset. Delicious, nice and cold. I feel rejuvenated. Feel like a new man. Feel like a new man. So, come on. Lock in with... Come on, internet connection. What? Oxford States gave Steve a dual-branded T-shirt. I'm furious. I'm furious. What? Oh dear. Gonna comment on that one, which I find funny. So lock in now, Tebs, mate. Got called Chris the other day. Didn't like it. So here we go. So half time in the Panthers versus the Lincolnshire Bombers. It's 28-0 to the Leicester Panthers. I tell you what, a little bit of a surprise here. Oh no, it keeps on going. Oh, so the Staffordshire Surge have come back from being 14-0 down to Birmingham. Scoreline 5 minutes ago from Mark Sheila Walter. The Surge 15, Bulls 14. Samwell beating the Rev. Old Shroppy Rev 9-0. Richard Collin telling us 9 minutes ago that the Rams are up 33-0 versus the Romans. So, let's have a look here. 13-3. Nighthawks over the Giants. The Olympians 6. Gladiators 3 at half time in that game. And Coventry 17-10. Obviously in the CEFL, the Bristol Aztecs beat the Amsterdam Crusaders 46-7. So we're going to get back in here after our half-time break. Back into Q2. Back into Q2 here. And it's still Q2. So imagine, Gary, some quick fingers from me to get that back up and ready. So yeah. So it's it felt like a hot minute since we were playing football. So number 7 now in at QB for the South Wales Warriors. Come on, give me the roster. Nice and prompt. Phone. Alex James in at QB. He's going to scramble and he's going to fire it out to the right-hand side. And that looks like it's not going to be able to get it done. So, you know, we were still on the downs that we had previously to Milburn going down. I have been told that Milburn's dad was watching, and I've been told to say he's stable, so he's going to be going. Basically, we're going to be waiting for. You'll be able to see there'll be a vehicle that will come around. So now we're going to be punting away here for South Wales. Bit of a rare South Wales punt today, and that kick is away. So 88 fields it, but remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are still in Q2 here, so the Wyverns, they've got 2 timeouts, and they haven't got long here to get a score before we're going to be kicking the ball off again. You know, I hope that both of these teams haven't forgotten that, you know, it's going to be kick-off o'clock in just a few here, and the Wyverns are going to be against the clock. So a change of QB here for the Wyverns. Number 9 is in. I'm going to try and look around my pockets for a roster. So he drops back, fires it just over the head of his receiver on the right-hand side. So I don't actually have a name for him. So potentially during the change into the third quarter, I will try and get a name for you, as I'd quite like to have a QB. Just going to check that is 9. No, I don't have a number 9 on my roster, and it'd be quite important to get the QB's name. High snap, manages to claim it, goes to Easterly on the right hand side. There is a hole there. 44 for the Warriors, manages to blast him out of bounds. Fresh set of downs here, but again, the time, it's not on the side of the Wyverns. But I mean, clock's going to stop it. Again, I'm not sure if you can hear the language by some of the coaches, but you know, I'm not saying swear words, and we're not going to ask players or coaches to stop. It's the heat of the game, for crying out loud. So goes to Easterly again, and just swarmed there. I mean, again, I'm unsure if the Wyverns are aware of what's taking place here, but doesn't seem to be calling a timeout. They've got 2 remaining. Clock is running. I think our side judge over here has just probably informed the Wyverns that, hey, you know, do you want to take a timeout? So 2nd and 10 here for Somerset. Drop back from 9. He's scrambling. He's taking it himself. He's looking to go out of bounds here to stop that clock from running. I don't think he's going to have any gain on the play. And there we go. So that is going to be the end of the first half. And we're going to be kicking the ball away. I'm going to try and quickly have a run down to the Somerset Wyverns area as kickoff. So I'm going to quickly pop down here. Hopefully the range still works, because I don't have number 9 on my roster, and if he's QB, I should probably find out who it is. Strong walk. No, I'm not heavy breathing on a short walk, but I'm going to quickly walk away from the camera. So Joe Crabb is number 9. He's going to seemingly be the new QB in for the Wyverns. But just like that, it's going to be the third quarter. And the South Wales Warriors are going to be back to receive. So Josh Lewis and Ollie Price are going to be the two players back to receive for South Wales. Okay, short kick there by Somerset. Ball is bobbled by 88. Short kick. If Somerset have this could be the coup of the century, but we're going to have to wait for the referee's signal. Wyverns, point all you want, but this is up to the referees. So, I mean, a ballsy play there by the Wyverns. And pretty close to paying off for them as well, but it is not to be. And the South Wales Warriors are going to take over here in Q3. Have I changed it? I have. They're going to be starting on their own 37, I'm going to say. (22) in at running back for the South Wales Warriors. Daniel Dacey. So James has got it. Then it's a fumbled snap. And James escapes and just throws it. And I mean a great escape there from number 7 in South Wales. Flag on the play after the play is over. I was looking at a great display of sportsmanship there from was one of the Somerset Wyverns picking up number 7 of South Wales, but I mean normally if it's after the play it's unsportsmanlike, so let us just see. So ineligible receiver downfield. And that penalty is declined. So a lot of movement going on. Bit of a high snap, but James gets a hand on it. Can't find number 83. Oh, Christ. So there we go. So just a change of the down marker there. Changed it to third down. I thought it was third down. So 3rd and 10 here for South Wales. I imagine it's going to take an adjustment period for Alex James to get into it. 22 and 3 in the backfield. James going to drop back. And he gets it out to number 84. Oh, but... So it's going to be interesting to see what they call that. Are they going to call that an incomplete pass? Did 84 make a football move? I mean, you can definitely hear that the Somerset Wyverns are saying that it was, but I don't know why you would. Oh no, they are. They are saying that was a football move. I was going to say, why are they complaining about that? So they are saying that 84-4 South Wales did complete a football move and then fumbled it out of bounds, which means that South Wales punting unit is going to have a couple of extra yards. In fact, they're going to have 6 extra yards. And Duncan to kick it away with LT Louis Trotman back to receive for Somerset. Good. And Duncan absolutely launches a missile. Looks like Somerset is going to let that bounce. And you could hear some of the Somerset Wyverns players begging that that ball goes into the end zone, and they're not going to just be taken over on the one. But I didn't see a call here, and I think it may be. I'm going to see where they set up shop. I thought potentially that they wouldn't be going this far back. Again, this is the problem with the angles, ladies and gentlemen, the angles. Oh, it's not too bad. Again, the angles, I was like, oh my God, did it go down to the 5? But no, it's okay here. So it looks like Somerset are going to be starting their first offensive drive. Is it the first offensive drive? Is it the first offensive drive of the second half? Well, I'm not going to say it. Okay, so a handoff to Easterly is going to be going backwards. That's going to be going backwards a fair way here. I think that's going to be a loss of 5 on the play there for Somerset. So now it's looking a little bit danger zone-y, as they look to be now on their own 11. Second in a bunch. Let's zoom in a little bit. So Joe Crabb is number 9, the QB, in for the Wyverns. Can he get something going? He's going to throw it into the middle of the field. And you can see he was looking for number 27. Number 87. But unable to get it done with a quick strike into the middle of the field. Third, and I'm still going to go with 15 for Somerset here. They're going to need a big lob, or otherwise they are going to be punting out of the back of their own end zone. And don't want to make this a Taylor Swift special. You know, don't want to have the South Wales Warriors feeling 22. Do you know what I mean? So, the fly got in my eye. Trying to lock in. So they're going to take it, and that's going to be not quite disastrous, but not ideal, as there's going to be a loss of, I'm going to say, 3 on that play. Well, potentially even 4. So a 4th and 19 here for Somerset means that they're going to be bunched up real close. Looks like that they're going to be snapping from potentially their own 6. Again, it's all by the angles, ladies and gentlemen. And that ball is... And that's going to be a safety, just like that. Shouldn't have jinxed it. That ball was bobbling around on the floor. Yep. Clap your hands together if you're a South Wales fan, because that's 2 on the board for the Warriors. Shouldn't have jinxed it. But I mean, we've seen some issues with the punting and the long snapping for for Somerset already today. So, I mean, when you're bunched up like that, it's very difficult to get the punt off. So I tell you what, there's a lot of Swansea Titans playing for South Wales Warriors, and they know a lot about safeties. When you watch this back, you'll give me grief online. So kicking off here is Somerset. It's going to be interesting to see what South Wales are able to do here. Can number 7 Alex James, can he get a bit more steam? Does he want to put some more points on the board? 23, and again kicking it short. And returning by 88. That is going to set the South Wales Warriors up very nicely. I mean, a bold strategy to go for that on a free kick. But maybe Somerset don't feel like they're out of this game yet. And I mean, it's 22 points. 4 scores and 20 years in the past. I have never told a lie. What other things did David Harold Lincoln say? Doesn't matter. Again, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I mean the Somerset Wyverns offense now with Crab in at QB, they're going to have to get something going here. So James in now with John as well. That's going to be going to 22 down the middle, and I mean the Wyverns do a good job of wrapping that up. Number 8 for Somerset was the first one to make contact, with 26 as well. So Kieran Hopley, who's a big defensive star here for the Wyverns, doing a fantastic job. And a minimal gain there. You know, definitely not even a yard. But Lewis Melander as well. So low snap, but James has got a handle on it. Fires it into the middle. And fires it into triple coverage, but once again the Wyverns getting confused amongst themselves and just unable to bring it down for a turnover. But still here for South Wales. They're looking at a 3rd and 9.5. So you've got John and Dacey in the backfield. And number 2 in motion for South Wales. And it's going to go to John. And John is going to have, I'm going to say, a gain of... Going to have a gain of 3.5, I'm going to say, to make it 4th and 6 here for South Wales. And the punting unit is going to come back on with Duncan once again kicking it away. And number 6, Louis Trotman, back to return. It's a bit of a looping snap there. That's going to make it almost blocked there by Somerset, but that punt's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be interesting to see just how close to Coffin corner that punt has travelled towards. But once again, you know, it's obvious that South Wales is a certainly difficult scenario when you lose your starting quarterback. But the Wyverns still yet to capitalise here, but both teams switching out their QBs. So, can Crab be the turning point for the Wyverns? Unbelievable. Crab has got it. Hand off, I believe, to Easterly. But once again, just brought down here. I mean, I think for the first few drives for the Wyverns, their run game was working. But now, I mean, Somerset, now South Wales, well, not even now. I mean, probably maybe the 3rd drive of the game. South Wales were like, well, okay, well, they're going to run it then, aren't they? And once again, the Somerset Wyverns find themselves behind the sticks here, facing down a 2nd and 12. So another handoff, this time to the other side. It's not Easterly. But once again, they wrap up the running back of the Wyverns. third. And 12 for the Wyverns. Crab's going to need something big here. Oh, and that was a big hit there. And once again, Somerset are punting dangerously close to their own end zone. Well, I mean, last time they were in their own end zone, so arguably still dangerously close though, because they're in it. So number 1 for South Wales back to return this. A bit of a looping snap, flag comes flying, and that is a punt that is high and not long. Taking a bit of a Somerset bounce, a lot of a Somerset bounce. But a flag on the play, a flag nonetheless. Took a good bounce. Elliot Trotman trying to get to that ball. You're going to love to see it. And that man's full of hope, and he's a dreamer. Is Elliot Trotman, mainly because he supports the Jets. Unfathomable behaviour from that man. So offside on the defence. That is declined. Is it declined? Yeah, it is declined. I see people shouting re-kick and I get scared. I'm not scared, but no, I do get scared. Don't know why. So, ladies and gentlemen, next weekend, I know one game that we're doing because I'll be doing it. We're going to be going to the home of Brit Bowl and arguably Brit Ball, as we have 2 massive teams, 2 former Brit Bowl champions facing off in the Premiership North as the Coventry Phoenix welcome the Manchester Titans. I tell you what, I'm very much looking forward to covering that game, especially when you consider Coventry yesterday beating the Newcastle Vikings. I'm looking forward to it. Used to live in Coventry. Can you believe that? I tell you what. Oh, goes to Dacey. 42. Brought it down there. I think Dacey's going to have a gain of 3 on that play. One thing I will say, I am going to pick out the centre here. I'm going to pick on him because he's rocketing this ball into the hands of James. And it just seems as though James can't really control it, if I'm completely honest. He's looking a bit suspicious. He's managing to get control of it, but it's not fluid. It's not fluid. So 58. Jacob Law again. Just look at the power on these snaps. Again, he's doing it again. I'm not saying he's not doing a good job here, but just look at the power that he's putting through these balls. Okay, that one was a lot better. That one was less powerful. James is scrambling and being pursued, and he's got a bunch of Wyverns around him. But he's going to have it pretty close to a first down. Oh, and it's going to be a 3rd and inches here for South Wales. I'll take it back. Law's good. And I want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, that yes, number 68, you're not seeing things. He's just an absolute unit and genuinely lovely guy. Genuinely lovely guy. I don't actually know how tall Furnham is, but I just know he's massive. Like, I have to look up, and I'm 6'2". So 3rd and inches here for South Wales. So James is definitely changing the play here. Low snap, but rocketed. Oh, and a screen out number 2. There was no one there covering him. Just beautiful, beautiful play design there by the South Wales Warriors. Reece Selby there on an island, and he only needed inches. He only needed inches. So fresh set of downs here for South Wales. I think they're just, to be fair, if I'm South Wales now, what I just introduce James to this offense. Like, obviously he's been training with them as the backup QB, but really get him to really get it going, because he's probably going to be playing it. So it goes to Dacey. Flag on the play. But I mean, I imagine that James will probably be the QB going forward here for South Wales. So a holding penalty there on the South Wales Warriors. So they're going to be heading back 10 yards for a 1st and 20. Yeah, I think it's a good position for, for James to test himself here against the South Wales. So against the Somerset Wyverns defence, that has been sort of the standout section of the squadron for Somerset. Good snap. James has got time. Launches it up there. And that's picked off by number 6. And LT with an absolutely, potentially game-changing pick there. He tied the interception record at the University of Gloucestershire. I mean, I don't know about that, LT, mate. I don't know if you heard that. He's a good friend of mine, but I don't know about that, LT, mate. I tell you what, I'm not sure if you can hear it. And again, I used to live with LT. He's a good friend of mine. But he swears quite a lot when he's on the field. I don't remember that. So here we go. Can the Wyverns do something on offense? Can they get their first points of 2025? Decent run there. Actually, no. Well, a bit more horizontal than I initially thought. I know, gain of 3. I mean, gain of 3 on a run. 1st down. That's a good play. Yeah. I'm going to go up to LT afterwards before anyone starts going like, you can't talk bad about your friend. He's like, yeah. I just know about what we said. I don't know if I'm not sure if you heard it. If you didn't hear it, that's fine. But it's still like. So a quick one there. Looked like Riley was just not paying attention there, but it looked like he was going for the screen and it was right in front of him, and South Wales read it pretty easily there, as he had number 5 in his face, and I think some Somerset players are getting a talking to. But to be fair, I mean, if I was playing, I wouldn't mind the swearing. It's only because I'm doing this, and I suppose we're not controlled by like the FCC or anything. So, I could swear if I liked, but I just try not to. So 3rd and 7 here. Flag on the play. 2 flags on the play. I imagine for the same thing. Hard guess out of 10. So full start there. So that field position is going to be a thing of the past. And the Somerset Wyverns are going to be starting from behind the sticks again. So 3rd and 12 here for Somerset. Can we see something? That is the question. Crab is in here. Crab drops back, throws it out wide, and that is intercepted by number 1 at South Wales. And he keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Not going to be a pick 6 or another one for South Wales, but it is going to be a big interception that's going to put South Wales back in scoring position. And it just seems like the Wyverns offense just can't get anything going today. Anything at all. I heard a whistle and I was like, I beg this is end of quarter, so they come up this side of the field, but I don't think it is, unfortunately. Which is just, well, not selfish, because I'm broadcasting it. So Alex drops back, fires it over the head of 19. So, you know, not quite a second and goal situation here. They are going to be able to get a first down and not score a touchdown. Obviously, they want to score a touchdown, but you can have that sort of emergency valve to potentially go in from the 3. Or it could even be at the 5. I think it is at the 5. No, I think it might just be at the 1. Another heave. And knocked away there by number 15 of the Wyverns. Daniel Kirby preventing another South Wales Warriors touchdown. So, I mean, Somerset here, they get a stop here. That's going to build a little bit of momentum for them, I think. We'd like to think so at the very least. So trying to make a man jump, flag on the play. It's going to be a free play. Alex James is going to take it himself, but a convergence of Wyverns there. But a free play. Let's try to get you some scores from around the league, ladies and gentlemen. So South Wales are going to have a free 5 yards. When you're this close to the red zone, you don't want to give up even an inch. So offside call there. It's going to be big for South Wales. Okay, so 3rd and 5 here. I still think it's 3rd and 5. I think there was an extra yard given, but 3rd and 5 here. Again, you want to say that a stop here can maybe rejuvenate the Wyverns a little bit, but I don't know. They've had some great plays on defense today, and it just hasn't managed to manage its way through to the offense. So Alex James is moving around. He's going to throw it high into the fan base of the Wyverns. And the South Wales Warriors, they are going to be attempting the field goal here. At least that's what it sounds like. So we're going to widen out the camera. So I'm going to go to the small scores from around the league. Hawks 21, Giants 3. Craig Owen rolling back the years with a 50, if not 60-yard run. So good on Craig Owen there. Let's see if we've got any more. So, no, don't have anything there. No, not much updates from the last time, so I won't read them out. Lots of dogs here in Victoria Park, which is good, because I like dogs. Kick is up. And kick is good. So just like that, it's 25-0. Still in Q3. And again, the question begs, can Somerset put their first points of the season on the board? That's the goal. So Duncan, number 19 for South Wales, to kick it away again. One and 14. Back to return for the Wyverns. And ladies and gentlemen, Monday, so tomorrow, if you're counting, at 7:30, we have the rundown on Sport Tank's Facebook, live Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, where we round up all of the Britball news, Britball and beyond, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm sure we're going to be talking a little bit about the Bristol Aztecs' victory over the Amsterdam Crusaders in the CEFL yesterday. But that starts at 7:30, because there's a lot of games going on today. So many. Here we go. Duncan's kick it away. What a boot from Duncan. Absolutely sensational. That's going to settle in number 1. He's going to get under it. They're going to go for the reverse, but this time 1 is going to keep it. And once again, doesn't fool South Wales at all then. I believe that's number 88 on there on the tackle for the Warriors. Aaron Howard on a big tackle here. It seems to me that the Somerset Wyverns have started a lot of their drives around the same point they are now, and that's, I mean, it's just never ideal. But I mean, Duncan has got an absolute boot. Yeah, I feel like I say this every single time that there's the Wyverns start an offence. Can they get something going here? But can they get something going? What needs to change here for Somerset? Change a QB. Oh, I tell you what, a great block there. Number 8 had a free ride, but that gets chucked out to Easterly, but brought down by number 6 off South Wales. I'm not entirely sure if Easterly got back to the original line of scrimmage there. We're going to have to see. No, it's going to be a slight loss on the play there for the Wyverns. Not going to be a massive loss for them, but a loss nonetheless. So 2nd and 10.5 here. Looking to throw that into the middle is Crab, but just bounces at the feet of number 14. I hear whistles, but... Oh no, sorry, I didn't see a flag on the play. I heard whistles, but holding call on the Wyverns is going to, just add to the offensive troubles they've been having today. And they're going backwards even further again. They're heading towards that danger zone once again. Because now they're going to be facing down a 3rd and 15.5. I'm gonna stick with that half as well, because it wasn't a lot. So, I can overhear the referees. The referee's been very, very nice today, making sure they're nice and loud, so I can hear them up here. This will be the last play of the quarter, they assume. Okay, so Crab's going to roll out to his right-hand side. A low throw there, and it's incomplete. So, that is going to be the end of Q3. With only a safety at a field goal being the scoring plays. SU4. So we're going to get to see the up close, the punting unit of the Somerset Wyverns. But 15 minutes left in this game. You know, it's not undoable here for the Wyverns, but I mean, given the offense hasn't been rolling at all, it's a hard task. Unless you can, for the lack of a better term, lock in. So I can give you a much better description. Again, it feels like all of the play, for better or for worse, for Somerset has happened down that end of the field. So I've not really been able to fully give you down and distances properly. But yeah, 3rd and 15 still. So 3rd down, not 4th. So again, let's see something impressive here. Crab wiping his hands. Really, really good flip in his hands. Oh, and gets it out to 14. The 24 was right there. And now the punting unit for the Somerset Wyverns. So let's just see where Riley is going to be. He's going to be, gosh, he's very much deep in his own end zone. And that was a cracking ball from Riley. Fielded by number 1 of the South Wales Warriors. He's taking it to the right-hand side. There's space. There's a lot of space. Riley's the man to beat. But just like that, it's a punt return touchdown for the South Wales Warriors. I mean, a beautiful punt there, but just like that, there's 6 more points for South Wales. So I believe that was Josh Lewis, number 1. Well, it definitely was. So, I'm going to have to see what they're going for here, but I mean, what a return there from Lewis, number 1. 31-0 the score. Seems that the Wyverns are having a bit of a communication issue here, as they've just got players don't really know what they're doing, as Duncan looks to make it 32-0. Ball is up, and ball is good. 32-0 is the score here in the 4th quarter. And just as we got to the 4th quarter, I mean, what a punt return there from South Wales. I mean, I feel like South Wales are definitely proving themselves as, you know, one of these big threats here in the SFC 1 West. Again, I keep... Sorry, there's just some of the staff there. Just lots of shouting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see here. I think the SFC 1 West has a lot of decent matchups in it. Obviously, Solent, they're looking pretty decent. Can't count out the Apache, but right now you can't be counting out the South Wales Warriors either. Or, to be fair, the Bournemouth Bobcats, which I think does leave you with just Somerset. So that just leaves you with just Somerset. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, like, Solent versus South Wales, you know, the rematch for Bournemouth and South Wales as well. He's going to be an absolute corker. South Wales and Bristol, I mean, you could argue that that's a rivalry game by this point now. Duncan with a big kick. Saying it's number one. We've seen one return touchdown from one, but I tell you what, there was definitely some space in there. And now the Wyverns are going to take over. It's a pretty decent field position. Again, the aim here, put some points on the board. Don't have your third donut in a row. I had 3 donuts in a row once. Very ill from all of the sugar. I imagine you would, like, if you ate like a six pack of Krispy Kremes, you would get ill. I'd assume. That's going to get sent to Krispy Kreme now, and I'm going to get done. I say this like I wouldn't just see off 6 Krispy Kremes on the spot. Someone buy me 6 Krispy Kremes and I'll eat them all. No, don't. So here we go. Cam Crab. And the Wyverns get something going. 3 on the right, but it's going to go to 28. 66 out to block. Bus swallowed up there. Going to be a gain of just 2 on the play by the looks of things for the Wyverns. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the result of the South Wales versus Solent game. You know, I think South Wales have done a fantastic job of bringing in fresh talent from the universities. That's around it. And the one thing that I do appreciate about South Wales is, you know, a lot of these teams, they don't like put profiles to players. Where did they play? South Wales are like, they're proud. They're like, no, he played for Swansea and he played for Cardiff and all that stuff. So goes for that 28 on the counter. He's going to have some yards. And see, I do appreciate that from South Wales. They've got a good social media squad over there. I'm sure they're going to love this one as well. 3rd and a long 4 for the Wyverns. Jack Medlin has provided all 6 of those yards for Somerset. But a long 4. 38 in motion. Going to go to 28 again, but 26 at South Wales. Nice and easy for him. Nice and easy for him. Posed no threat there to the unbroken score margin of the South Wales Warriors here today. So that is going to be a loss of 4. No, a loss of 5, because that's definitely 4th and 1. What am I talking about? So new punter in. And just an absolute cannon. Not a beautiful punt, but it's taken a Somerset bounce. $32-0 is the score. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week, Northern Prem, Coventry versus Manchester. What a game. What a time to be alive. Next Sunday in beautiful, idyllic, paradisic, or is that like parasite? No, parasitical. That's definitely about parasites. Paradisical. Is that a word? Well, it should be. Coventry is where we will be next week. So run play up the middle there from Grace John. They're going to have 2 on the play. I believe Grace is Plymouth Blitz. Unsure if Grace John still plays for Plymouth, or it was her last season this year, so I'm not going to make any assertions. But did finish second in the Div 2 South in a great game that we live streamed if you want to go back and watch that. Flag on the play. And I'm fairly certain that Grace also played for the Aztecs last year as well. I believe. I'm fairly certain. I'm fairly certain. So a full start there on the South Wales Warriors. They're looking at a 2nd and 12 now. Louis Trotman still in the single high safety look for the Wyverns. So it's going to be a handoff going to the right hand side. And LT is the man to beat, and just the threat of him swearing is what's going to get him out of bounds. So that run play, despite getting out of bounds, is going to result in a fresh set of downs here for the South Wales Warriors. I do appreciate that the South Wales Warriors, both teams, strong tent games today. But South Wales having a Welsh flag and a American flag. So free play here for South Wales. James is going to take it himself. He's going to be brought down there, but the 5 yards that they gained on the, the 5 yards that they lost on the full start, is going to be repaid to them in full. So I think we're going to have a little bit of a break here as we get the ambulance onto the pitch for Milburn, the starting QB of the South Wales Warriors, or at least clearing the field enough to sort out the situation. So yeah, I mean, I've not really got much to say that I haven't already said during this live stream. Is that the Somerset Wyverns just cannot get anything going on offense. South Wales, on the other hand, I think they've adjusted. That's a strange noise. Whilst South Wales have adjusted, I think, very, very well to having their starting QB go out. They've got good running backs. James has been dynamic in the pocket. So, I think South Wales have done a great job. But again, I don't know what else I can really say here. Is that I'm excited to see what South Wales do next. Somerset, I'm not sure how long's left, but they're going to be likely ending their 3rd game scoreless. Yeah, normally I'm so full of energy and full of life and full of fun things, but the narrative of this game has just repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated. I do hope within the Somerset Wyverns season here that they have some space to have like 2-3 weeks off and really get something going on offense, really build some chemistry. As Alex James drops back, he's going to throw it there, and almost there, number 13 for South Wales, but LT right there to mop it up. And so 3rd and 5. Is it 2nd? Well, it is. That's what they're showing me. So a bit of a low snap there. James gets a hold on it. John has found a gap, but brought down there. I think John's going to have a gain of, I'm going to say 2 on the play. So I'm going to say a 3rd and 3 for South Wales. I'd love to know what that South Wales Warriors fan over there is drinking, because he's having an absolute corker of a time. Absolute corker of a time. Not that I'm not, but... So trying to get him to jump. James fires it out. Oh, what a grab there by 84 of South Wales. Let's put that back in to the replays. Alistair Stevenson-Keir with a great catch there, bringing South Wales another 1st down. So now South Wales encroaching on the red zone of the Wyverns. They're going to be starting this drive just slightly inside of Wyverns territory. Alex James has got it again. Looks like he was going to toss it, but he's going to take it himself. And a good tackle there by number 2 of the Wyverns. That's going to be a potential loss. And now Alex James, the backup QB for the South Wales Warriors, is walking pretty slowly. Sean Gerard tapping on that good tackle. But it's only going to be a very, very small loss. I'm going to say South Wales now probably have a 2nd and 10 and a half. I've seen a lot of halves today, but that doesn't look to me to be a full yard. So behind the stick slightly here for South Wales. James drops back. He's going to roll out to his right-hand side, looking for 13. And 13 manages to keep his hands on it. And Louis Trotman knocks him out of bounds. Matthew Pedler there on another South Wales reception. And they're going to be going from now the 32-yard line of the Wyverns. It looks to me to be that, James has settled into his start or his role as QB now for South Wales. Those 2 big completions. So 3 on the move for him. No, so James is going to now take it himself. Designed run here, but the Wyverns are going to meet him behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a big old loss for South Wales. I want to say that's going to be a loss of minimum 6, maximum 7. Nah, loss of 5. Loss of 5, I'm going to say. I'm talking nonsense. So 2nd and 15 here for South Wales. John now in a running back for him. Drops back. Pockets collapsing. Ball is out. Going to be interesting to see where this goes. I think South Wales are going to have it. And another big loss there for South Wales. They're now staring down a 3rd and 22. And we're going to need to see something pretty mega here from South Wales if they want to convert. But obviously it's not. I mean, where's it? 32? Yeah, 32-0 is the score. So South Wales are going to take a time out here, try and assess the situation slightly. But 2 of the biggest defensive plays of the day for them. I'm fairly certain that I just heard the referee, one of our the white hat referees, say 2:16 remaining in this game. Playing some Limp Bizkit. Big fan of 2001 Undertaker. Rolling. How long can I sing on stream before I get copyrighted? Copyrighted. Let's look at some scores from around the league. Is there anything updating me on? Oh, we definitely will do. Okay. So the newest here. But we are going to go back in play. Yeah, so look, definitely a 3rd and 22 here for the South Wales Warriors. There's a lot of space in the middle of that field. I imagine we're going to see some backers drop. Trotman in the single high. That's going to go to Grace John. She's going to be met pretty quickly on there. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. So now the punting unit for South Wales comes on. There's not going to be a lot. I imagine we're going to be seeing a 2-minute warning. So that is the 2-minute warning. I mean, unless that man you've just seen emoting is going to run it back. Unless he has an absolutely spectacular one. Yeah, I'm not going to read any scores. I'm going to wait for this punt. So here we go, Duncan. Or maybe his last kick of the day. Big looping snap there. That's a high punt. That's going to, oh wow. And what a punt by Duncan. What a punt by Duncan. As it looks as though these Somerset Wyverns are going to be taking this ball over on the 4-yard line Fantastic there from number 19 of the Warriors. So as it stands right now, the Surge looks to be completing a pretty decent comeback, 23-14 currently against Birmingham. Final score, the Olympians beat the Gladiators 12-3. Let's have a look. 17 minutes ago, Warriors versus Cats was 56-6. Hawks 32-10 over the Giants. That was 11 minutes ago. And that's about it. That's all I've got here. So a new QB in here for the Wyverns. Number 18. He's going to scramble out of the pocket. Being pursued, doesn't want to give up 2. Let's see what they're going to call this. And that's a touchdown for South Wales. I mean, as simple as that. I was unsure what they were going to rule there, but it's a touchdown. And I think I may have spoken a bit too soon when I said Duncan's day is done, because he's coming back onto the field. But I mean, now that is the power. Oh. And I mean, that is the power of a punter. Managed to pin the Wyverns back to the 4-yard line. And just like that, it's now 38-0 to the Somerset Wyverns. What am I doing? Widen it out. Oh, and Duncan hits the back fence. 39-0 is the score here in Taunton. Again, I've definitely jinxed it there, because obviously now Duncan's got to kick the ball off again. Feel bad. So I believe it's 1:27 remaining in this game, but as per Brit Ball rules, it's going to be a running clock. So I don't expect this game to be on your screens much longer. One and 14 back to return for the Wyverns. So again, unless something spectacular happens here, I can't see it. Duncan with a big kick, that's heading to number 1. Settles underneath it. Looks in the middle, 83 hanging off him. But a great tackle there from 83 of the South Wales Warriors. You know, a lot of chat here from both squads. And there's calls of like tempo and speed here, but unless they're really, really quick, it won't mean much, because we are on a running clock here. And I think Somerset are going to finish this game without a point again here. Three games, no points, and South Wales going to improve to 2-0. Another shutout for them. This time looking a little bit different. Looking a little bit different to the one against Bournemouth. Only 8-0 in their first fixture, but currently 39-0. But now 39-0. So 2 seconds remain in this game. So yeah. Timeout called. This will be the last play of the game. So Taylor's got it. Hands it off for the counter. And just swallowed him up. So that is going to be the game here today in Victoria Park. The Somerset Wyverns fall to 0-3. The South Wales Warriors improve to 2-0. South Wales yet to concede a point. Somerset yet to score one. So there we go. That has been the play of the day for today. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, Monday tomorrow at 7:30, we have the rundown. All the Britball news and some more, obviously, because of the CEFL. And also next week, we're heading to the home of Britball. We're heading to Coventry for the Phoenix versus the Manchester Titans. That is going to be an absolute corker. I believe that's kicking off at 2 as well. I'm going to try and give you some scores from around the league, but I just did it, so there may not be any update, but I'll try for you. Here's an update for you. Oxford Saints gave Steve a free shirt. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. How many free shirts have I got? Well, that's for me to know and for everyone else to guess, so you can send me them. Send me. So 40-0, Yorkshire beat the Chester Romans. 33-0 for the Nighthawks over the Giants. The Surge are currently leading the Bulls. The Olympians beat the Gladiators 12-3. Coventry won against Newcastle yesterday 17-10. And then the Aztecs beat the Amsterdam Crusaders 46-7, I'm going to say. I should know. I commentated that one. But ladies and gentlemen, I have been, as always, your Tebs, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Chris Tebbert. It has been an absolute pleasure to be here in Victoria Park. It's going to be an interesting go of things for both of these teams in the SFC 1 West in the year of our Lord 2025 on April 27th. This week 4 contest finishes. South Wales Warriors 39. Somerset Wyverns 0. We'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully we will see you next week.